Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Happy, super fantastic, sparkling Christmas Eve for all of you who celebrate Christmas. Yes, I celebrate Christmas. I love Christmas. It's one of my favorite holidays of the year. Um, but welcome to Thankful Thursday as well. So what are you most thankful for today? I am thankful for an incredible year. This despite everything that has gone on in the world with the global pause, I am truly, truly grateful for the incredible experiences that I've had this year, for all the ups and downs that I have been through, because every time I go down, I come back up again and I've grown a little more and stretched and grown and stretched and grown, and it keeps going on. And the abundance of opportunities out there are just endless. So I am very, very thankful for for all the experiences I have had this year, the people that I have met along the way in our travels and everything else. Having Zeffy with me as my travel companion this year has been awesome. Um, this this trip would have been. I don't think this trip would have turned out as well as it had I not had Zeffy with me. Simply because is that she gave me a reason to get out of the RV. She gives me a reason to get out of the RV at minimum twice a day. Um, if I didn't have Zeffy, I probably wouldn't have left the RV. I don't know if I would have driven as far as I did drive. I don't know where I would have ended up. I have no clue, but it worked out the way it worked out because that's what it was supposed to be. So I'm extremely grateful for all the adventures and trials and tribulations we have had throughout the year. I am extremely grateful for every single moment of it. Would I change any of it? Absolutely not, because I wouldn't be the person I am today if I made any change. If I went back and made changes, I could be a completely different person. I could be in a completely different place, mentally as well as physically. But I am super, super excited for here. I am super excited looking forward to next year. But for right now, today, I am just in gratitude for the amazing, incredible year that I have had and all the growing that has taken place, all the changes that have come along. So I am extremely, extremely grateful for today and for this year. And so I'm coming from a place of gratitude and love. And when you're being thankful about something, you need to come from a place of gratitude and love. That is where the magic happens. So what are you most thankful for today? Let them in the comments below. What are your plans for Christmas Eve? I know this is an awesome day for a lot of people. I have to go find my jingle bells. I have a networking event this afternoon, and somebody said they'll be there with bells on. And I thought, I wonder if they'll really be there with bells. And I said, I remembered I have a string of jingle bells. And we held the string of jingle bells because the idea was to leave it by the door and teach Zeffy to ring the bells when she wanted to go outside. But she took offense to the bells. And every time, and she accidentally nudged them one time when she was playing. And I went, oh, good girl. Okay, so I got her up, put a leash on, and took her straight outside. And she just stood there in horror, just looking at me like, what the heck just happened? And so because every time we went to go out the door, I would go outside and ding the bell, and it'd be right there where her paw could hit it. So every time she hit it while playing, I'd put the leash on her and we'd go outside. So she kind of started avoiding the whole door area where the steps are to go outside. She would avoid, and if her ball went anywhere near that area, she would literally just back off. She would just leave it down there in the stairwell. She wouldn't even go after it. But once I moved those bells and took them off from on the floor, there's a little ledge right by the step there that they sit on that I can't stand on. And so I put them along that ledge there. So as soon as I moved those bells, she was all up and down the stairs. If she put balls down there, she was straight down there after them, picking them up and bringing them back out. But otherwise, if her ball went down there when the bells were sitting there, she would sit there and whine, looking at them, look at me, look at them, as I say, pick up my bell. And I was like, no, you can go get it. So she would totally avoid that area because she was afraid of hitting those bells and being taken outside. So, but I still have my jingle bells, so I'm going to go get those. So when I'm at the networking meeting this afternoon, I can literally show up with bells on. So what are your plans for Christmas Eve this evening? Our plans tonight is to watch another Christmas movie. Last night we ended up watching Die Hard, the first one. It was awesome. I haven't seen that movie in so long, and oh my gosh, going back and watch it, I can't even remember what year it was released, but going back and watching that, I think it came out in the 90s, late 90s, I think it was. When did it come out? I think it was the late 90s. Might have been, oh, jeepers, I don't know. Oh, it was 1988. Wow. 1988. And I would tell us because there was no cell phone. I should remember that there was no cell phones in the movie. Um, they had they were using CB radios and walkie talkies and things. And like the guy who was cutting the power, he says, but I've got the, and he ends up pulling up what we later became known as the earlier cell phones where you would have the whole case that you would carry around portable with a handset on it. But this one he had just had the mouthpiece because it was a CB radio he was carrying with him to contact back to base. So he had the portable CD radio, which kind of looked like the first portable cell phones, which weren't the brick ones, but they were the ones that came in their own little case, and you actually had a handle to carry them along. But yeah, so I should remember that there was no cell phones in that movie. So yeah, 1988 is when that movie came out. Still a good movie. And Bruce Willis, and I mean, everybody was in there. I mean, Alan Rickman was in there, and he later went on to playing. He was in Love Actually the other day when I was watching that movie. And then he was also in the Harry Potter movies as well. And he passed, I think he passed away, was it last year he passed away? But yeah, to see some of those actors and actresses in there going, oh my gosh, I forgot that person was in the movie. Oh yeah, I remember them. And like, oh, that guy looks familiar. Go quickly on IMDb, quickly look it up and go, and then go see what movies they were in or what TV show. Oh yeah, I remember him. So it was kind of like a trip down memory lane watching that movie last night. But it's, and some people don't call it a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas. It's listed as a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas. But I was going to watch the Santa Claus, but I couldn't find my Santa Claus DVD, and I was like, no. So, I mean, I've got in my binder, I've got to go through and check all of the little pockets because I have the piece out of the jewel case, because my DVD holder holds a place for the DVD, and then it's got a place to put the little booklet that comes in the jewel case, or the cover of the jewel case. Then you can just slip those out and slip it in there. And so I have the Santa Claus, I have Santa Claus 2, and I have the DVD in there for Santa Claus 2, but I do not have the DVD for Santa Claus, the first one. So I'm not sure where that is, so I'm probably going to have to go through all the pockets to make sure I didn't accidentally slide it in the wrong place or something like that. But we'll see if we can find that today so we could watch it tonight. Although tonight, on Christmas Eve, I usually like watching The Christmas Candle. It is such a great, great story. And if you haven't seen The Christmas Candle, it is this, what is he? Reverend priest, a new minister, reverend priest, whatever you want to call him, comes into this little town and tries to modernize it with bringing in the electricity and stuff. And they're talking about, no, we can't do that. We have to have, and the candle makers are worried they're going to get put out of business and all this sort of stuff because, they are a tradition. And then every year, one of their candles gets touched by an angel, and it brings, what is it? There's this whole story about the new priest guy wants to bring in electricity to the place. The candle makers are sort of like, and everybody in the village is like, no, this is how we are. This is what we do every year. And the candle makers are sort of like, they make all their Christmas candles and everything. And then an angel comes down and touches one of the candles. And they typically don't know who touches it. So, and then the candles are given out. And sometimes it's given it's always goes to a person in need. So they get the things that they want, that they need. Not what they want, but what they need. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. So that's one that I like to watch on Christmas Eve, just because it's one of those really good feel-good stories. Tomorrow I'll probably watch like Jingle All the Way, The Santa Claus, if I can find my DVD, which kind of ruins my holiday thing because Santa Claus is on my must-watch holiday list. But that's okay. And another one I'm actually going to watch, which I saw for the first time last year, and I was blown away by the movie, and it was called Santa and Pete. Pete, and it's available on Amazon Prime. And it was a really cool story about this guy who goes out, and he's a very giving person. And as he goes along on his travels, he meets this guy Pete, and Pete accompanies him, and they go off and they're doing all these different things and helping people out. And as he goes along, it's sort of like the story of how Santa Claus became Santa Claus. And it's one of these myths and legends out there. But as he goes along, he gets given a red coat. He gets given a bag to carry the toys in that he's giving away. and he slowly over the time during his travels becomes, from being an ordinary person, becomes Santa Claus, and he ends up with a sleigh because there's no way they can get the transport through, so they have to use a sleigh to pull him through the snow areas and stuff. And there were no horses available, so they used reindeer, and you can see the progression as the movie goes. So by the end of the movie, you've got, so at the beginning of the movie, you've got an ordinary guy. By the end of the movie, you've got Santa Claus, and it's sort of like a legend on, or a myth or a story on how Santa Claus became Santa Claus, or how Chris Kringle, or I can't remember what his name was in the movie, but how he became, this guy, ordinary guy, became Santa Claus, and how the myth and legend of Santa Claus started. So it's a really cool movie like that, and it's another one of those really good feel good Christmas movies. I love those ones, but this one, so yeah, this sounds interesting. And I watched it, I was like, wow, that was a really cool movie. So I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow. I may even knock off early today and watch that um, and watch that one. So I get two movies tonight. So I may do the Christmas. I'm definitely doing the Christmas Carol tonight, but I may slip Santa and Pete in there as well because it's a really cool story about how, it's the beginning of Santa Claus type of thing. It's a different way of looking at the beginning of Santa Claus. But yeah, so what? And here's another good question for you: what Christmas Eve traditions do you have that you will be enjoying this evening? So let us know what Christmas Eve traditions you have as well. And I'm out of here. I'm going to go have some breakfast. I am really hungry. My morning training, they were talking about selling steak to vegetarians or something like that. And all I could think of was steak, eggs, and chips. And I was like, really good plate of a good steak with some eggs and some chips, or as in most people call them, French fries here in the States. Steak, eggs, and chips. Awesome breakfast. I love those type of breakfasts. And then I thought, well, I don't have any fries. I have eggs, and I definitely don't have any steaks because I have no clue how to cook a steak. I can cook just about anything. Um, I will muddle through, but steaks, I always tend to end up overcooking them. And Brad was my grill master. I don't even know how to turn a grill on. Um, Brad called me up one time on his way home from work, and he says, I'm about 30 minutes away. He says, so can you turn the grill on, and it'll be hot enough for me by the time I get home. It'll be heated up and be ready to cook, to throw the meat on, and I'll be able to do that as soon as I walk in the door. And I'm like, no. And he goes, why not? I said, I have no idea how to turn the grill on. So as he's driving along the road, he's having to instruct me over the phone on how to turn the grill on. So I don't even know how to turn a grill on. I've only done it once, let alone cook a steak on a grill. So I think I might. Yeah, I'm gonna challenge myself in 2021 to become a grill master. Yes, I think I might do that. I mean, I'm coming up with all sorts of weird and wonderful things these days, and the mine's just been over because I really miss a good steak cooked on the grill. Oh, there's nothing like a medium rare steak on the grill, straight off the grill. That flavor that you can't get in restaurants. It's just something about cooking a steak on a grill that's. But Brad always did it. I mean, the way he seasoned, I don't even know how he seasoned. He seasoned it really well and all of that sort of stuff. And when I sold the grill that we had, because I wasn't going to use it, so I sold the grill, but I also threw in all of the cookbooks that we had on grilling. So all of our barbecue books, all the books that were related to how you to recipes for cooking stuff on the grill went with the barbecue, because I had no use for them. They were Brad's books, and he liked to look through them at times for ideas and things. So when I sold the barbecue, the books went with it as well. So yeah, I think maybe I will see if I can find a grill master class or something I could take. I wonder if there's a grill master class. Hang on. Look out. Grill master cooking class in 2020. 2020 research. Okay, another thing for me. You know how much I love research. But anyway, so I got some genealogy to do. I got some processes to finalize to get done today, get them completed and things. So that I'm actually also using today like I do Fun Friday. So I'm making sure everything is off my plate. So tomorrow I have literally nothing to do. I do have a couple of Zooms scheduled for tomorrow, and of course my Facebook Lives. Otherwise, I will be offline. And I'm just going to kick back. I've got a couple of really good books I want to get into that the author brought out earlier this year, and I haven't had a chance to have a day off to read them because I know when I start reading these books, I am not going to be able to put them down. So so I have to have time for that. So I might do one tomorrow and one on Sunday, although I do have a call around 12 noon on a Zoom. So yeah, and it happens to be with the author. So he's doing what he did on Thanksgiving Day, pulling people together who are spending the holidays by themselves, or if you want to jump on, you can, and just you can. And it's a free for all. It's a Q&A time where you can ask him questions about his writing, about ideas, about where he gets his ideas from, where he gets his inspiration from, how he's he's got he's homeschooling the kids right now, so how does he fit that in with his writing schedule? Um, and you're also learning more about him and his family as well. So we can ask him just about anything, and he will ask us questions too. So it's a two-way communication thing. So it's really cool to have such an author who is so interactive with his readers. I love it. And so I've got that at 12 noon, and it's his two latest books that I'm wanting to get into and read, and I just got to schedule the time. So I'm probably going to do one on Sunday and try and get one in tomorrow, but I'll probably start it after and then I've got 4 hours. I'm going to have to set it because it's putting his books down is super, super hard. Yeah, even for bathroom breaks, it's really hard to put his books down because for me, I find that they grip me from that first paragraph. I am into that book and don't. And I remember I actually this is so funny. It reminds me of a time when one of the Harry Potter books came out, and I had it sent from Amazon directly to the house to me, and I had it. You could do the pre-orders when you can do the pre-order thing. I think it was number 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. I think that was the one. And Chris, the middle son, he was so wanting to read it, but of course I said, "Hang on, that parcel has my name on it. I'm going to be the first one to read it." And Chris was so like, "What, have you read it? Have you read it?" I said, "No, because I haven't had the time." And so he literally banned me to my office where I had my little reading nook set up, banned me to my office, closed the door, and my sole purpose for being in that office was I had to read the book. I was not allowed to leave the office until I finished the book. We're talking about the day it arrived at the house. So it arrived in the morning. He did not want to see me downstairs until I had finished that book. And he kept everybody away from my office. Nobody was allowed to disturb me. And I thought, wow, a house, three boys in the house, 3 teenage boys in the house, plus my husband. It gets very loud in the house. And and I loved cooking for them. And I basically got banned from the kitchen, I got locked in my office and got told not to leave. And then Chris made sure everybody stayed away from me, left me alone, didn't interrupt me, no nothing. If I went out of the office to go to the bathroom, I was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to the bathroom." "Well, hurry up, I want to read that book." And I think it was around 2 o'clock I think it only took me like 3 hours to read the book. And I think it was like around 1 or 2 o'clock. I couldn't even stop for lunch. I was not allowed to stop for lunch. And so I think it was like around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I walked back downstairs and Chris was like, "What are you doing down here?" I said, "Well, I'm hungry. I need to eat." And he goes, "No, you've got to read the book. You've got to finish the book so I can read it." I go, "Well, here you go." And he goes, "But you haven't finished." I said, "Yes, I have." And he was off. We never saw him for the rest of the weekend. But I told him the book wasn't going home with him, so he had to read it while he was at our place. So that was one funny experience. But yeah, but being by myself and having Zephyr, of course, I will get distracted with her around, but and I will have to set the alarms to make sure I don't miss the Zoom calls that I have to do tomorrow. But looking forward to reading the 2 books that I have sitting on my Kindle waiting to be read. So that's it from me. Have a super fantastic sparkling day. Let us know what some of your Christmas Eve traditions are and some of the things that you're thankful for today. Have a super fantastic sparkling Christmas Eve, and we will catch you guys later today. Hei konara.